Hello, everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Oh, baby. Mostly.
Sorry for the impromptu hiatus for a minute. Shit happened. So,
Life happens.
not bad stuff. Just,
Clearly, I mean, we're both alive.
been gone. So, but we're back for the time being. But you know how this goes. Usually when we say we're back, we leave for another month or two. So, anyway, if you do... If you're new to the podcast, we do have over 200 episodes. So when we do go on these like prolonged hiatuses or, breaks, you can go listen to a bunch of them. If you've listened to all of them already, go listen to your favorites again.
But watch the movies. Yeah.
But anyway, if you're new and you haven't done so already, please follow, subscribe. We're on every podcast site and we're on YouTube as well. It really helps out the podcast, and we really appreciate all the follows and comments and all that good stuff. So we really appreciate you being a fan. We appreciate listening, and thank you so much. So we have some housekeeping, I think, for...
Yeah, I know we got another request.
Okay.
Which I assure you it's been added to the list. We
Yes.
always appreciate that. And
That's
then,
another thing for new listeners. If you request something via Facebook,
whatever.
Instagram, wherever you suggest it, we will add it to the list. We do it every 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So just so you know, every 5th episode in the line is going to be a request.
Is going to be a lovely request
So if you'd
journey.
like to hear our critique of the movie that you suggest, whether you love it or you hate it, put it out there and we'll get to it.
And then also one of you, because I do also appreciate this as well, is one of you commented on our... wasn't really a critique, it was more of a gush about Prophecy.
Yeah.
One of you said that you went to see this every night it played in your hometown theater in the summer of 1979.
Dude.
Which, I mean, look, I get it because we both ended up enjoying...
I mean, I would too, just for the sleeping bag. Is that the sleeping bag scene? Yeah. Well, just for that scene alone, what I would do to see that on a big screen.
I would love
Like-
to show that to an unsuspecting audience and just see people watch a child in a sleeping bag get absolutely annihilated by a mutated monster bear.
Maybe if we ever do like a live show, just
But everyone
watch
knows because we
Prophecy.
fucking gushed about it. You have to be unsuspecting, like complete news.
Well, I know, but what we can do, listen, we're small time right now, okay? When we get big time, no one's going to look back at this episode and say...
No one's gonna watch the Prophecy.
Well, no, what we do is we cue it as a different movie.
Oh, and then it starts and people are like...
Or just show that scene.
Just be like, well, yeah, just observe this.
Just do like a best of. Like, we'll just do the best of scenes that we love from different movies.
I don't even want to think about that.
That'd be a project to put together for sure.
Yeah, please no.
Going through like over 200 episodes of our favorite.
My brain matter's not up to it. But yes, thank you for that comment. And we are in a new year, 1985.
Yes, and boy, man, it started with a doozy.
You might remember there was a film at one point called American Ninja.
Yeah, and
Well,
even got a sequel.
it got multiple sequels.
Oh, that's right, yeah, multiple.
Like 4. But rest assured, because the big brains...
This is like before Asylum movies. You know how when you ever went to rent movies at like a Blockbuster or anything, you'd always see there'd be like snakes on a plane, and then
on a train.
Right next to it is like snakes on a train, or like Transformers and Transmorphers.
There's also the it was the Almighty Thor. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just like slightly changing the name so you get just an innocent person gets like an unsuspecting person gets suckered into renting this movie.
Yeah. So instead of Pacific Rim, someone rents Atlantic Rim.
Right. Because if you don't know the title and you don't know the movie and you're just looking, be like, oh, what new releases? Because you don't do your research.
We'll see. Because I was looking because I think it's a bit of a reunion here because see, tonight's movie is not American Ninja, it's USA Ninja.
which is arguably the same thing, just different wording. So it's fine.
But it's the same people, actors and everything, and probably even the same stupid brain dead director that made the Super Ninja from 1984. We get a lovely reunion, right down to having a white guy do a black scent in the dubbing. So it's just a complete reunion fest.
Yeah, and it's it starts a little rough. I'm not gonna lie, but it gets better when you watch it. So if you're going to watch it like before you listen to this review, it gets better. So like just stick with it because it is a little. I'm not gonna lie. The first 20 minutes are pretty rough. Like they're fun to make fun of, but then the fight scenes actually get like pretty good towards the end.
You know what's funny about this movie? So it's called the USA Ninja, right? And honestly, the way we'll do is...
I think set in USA?
Well, I'll get to that. I think we'll just... once we get into it, I think we'll just discuss the brief plot and then just kind of talk about what we liked and hated.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's an action movie with like barely any plot. I'm not going to go over every story
It's a dub
beat.
fest.
I'm not going to go over every story beat with you because it's really not that important.
But what's funny is in the first couple of scenes, the first like 20 minutes or so, is there is an attempt made to pretend like this film is not filmed in the Philippines. Okay.
Well, I love even
because there's like they show a building in the very beginning of the movie, right? And I'm not joking. There's 3 American flags.
And at a certain point, they do say New York, and I'm like, this is the farthest landscape.
Yeah, but by the time they say that,
ever.
By the time they say that, though, the secret's already revealed.
Well, I know, but the fact that they still try and say like. By this point, you know it's not. It's literally the Philippines because there's palm trees everywhere and jungles and fucking like pagodas and like. So we're clearly not in the USA, and then they have the audacity to say, "Oh, this is New York City."
But like in that first 20 minutes, you get all these American flags, and they're most of the stuff they film is like indoors, so you can kind of pretend. But how do I know it's the Philippines? Because almost every single one of these cheapo martial arts movies from the 70s, 80s that was like dubbed, almost every single one of them were filmed in the Philippines. And, you know, if you're like us and you've connoisseured the fine steaks enough, you know your cuts of meat, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, you know a filet, you know a New York strip. I know my fillets, baby. Mm-hmm. I know my Philippines. And
yeah, it's like you can tell like this like, when they do outdoor shots. Like a lot of times, if you have a keen eye, or you don't even need a keen eye, you can just like if you just know like
we have a keen eye.
If you have a vague idea of the landscape of where they're filming,
right?
You can definitely tell. Like, because I mean, a lot of stuff is filmed, you know, out in the California desert, and they say it's like the Middle East or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, they do that stuff a lot. This is like the worst example of that
because palm trees. I mean, it's the biggest tell because like you can say like, okay, well, it's not filmed in New York, duh, but there's palm trees in America. But the biggest tell is, and it's hilarious to me, is the license plates. Is they have those like thin license plates that you find in like Asia, and it's so comical. It's just. And hell, at the end, there's like it's funny, because I guess it's another big reveal. The bad guy's like lair or whatever, it's like this pagoda building.
Well, yeah, there are all these like triangle buildings, and like you don't see that in the States a lot.
Yeah, but it's very like exotic looking and obviously sinister looking.
Well, there's also like the jungles are a huge giveaway.
The mountains, but... my favorite thing is at the very end, there's like a shot for 2 seconds where the bad guy's standing there, and there's a sign right behind him that says like so-and-so golf course. And I know for a fact if you look that up, it's like the name of like some Filipino president or something.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
And it's just it's so adorable.
But yeah, like it's just one of those bad examples of like they say a place in the United States and it's clearly not. Now, also another critique I have of this movie, before we get into the plot and everything, I don't really love the camera work because,
It's extremely insane.
well, it's like all over the place. They do like these weird zoom in shots.
There's like all these Dutch angles.
But also,
and-
like, it's weird how they didn't fix this problem where it's like overexposed. So, like, the entire movie looks like a dream sequence from another movie.
or a softcore porno.
Cool, because it's all these like foggy, like, because every time
The sun's out.
well, because they couldn't fix. I don't know if they like had a problem with the lighting or if they had a problem with the aperture or like something was happening with the camera. But like they cannot fucking like get the fog to go away when it's sunny.
I think it's two things. Well, it's number one, possibly cheap camera, and then the other thing is this is very clearly ripped from like a VHS.
Well, yeah, and honestly, we watched We watched it on YouTube because it's free on there.
I don't know of any.
So
other way
I
to
don't know
watch
if
this
it's
movie,
I don't know if it's the quality. It could be, but like it just looks bad. Like the whole movie, it literally looks like a dream sequence. Like the entire hour and 25 minutes looks like a dream sequence.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, you search this movie and almost all the results are for American Ninja instead. But it's just funny, after watching this, like, we watched like 20 seconds of a clip from American Ninja, and I'm like, oh, right, this is what a real movie looks like.
Well, yeah, like you have to adjust your eyes. You almost have it almost like hurt my eyes.
You're like
looking at
watching,
this,
you're like, wait, it's like, I can like see everything. I
wait,
can like,
this isn't a flashback from another 80s movie?
there's like clear camera work and it's in high definition. Like,
Holy
whoa,
shit.
Whoa, honey.
Wow. All right, slow your roll. Whoa.
I'm not fit to handle this right now.
Yeah, so like that's like the main critique I have is like it's kind of hard to watch sometimes just because it's so horribly filmed.
Yeah, just, think of all the, like, when we were growing up, think of all the, softcore nonsense you'd see on, like, Cinemax at night, and it's just, they kind of
Where it's
film
like
it.
overexposed.
Looks
and
like they just rub the camera with lube. It's like that.
yeah, it looks like they smeared Vaseline on the fucking
That's-
lens of the fucking camera.
Set the mood.
Yeah, there you go.
Set the mood for USA Ninja. Oh, God. So the plot.
So the plot is really, really fucking simple. Holy shit. But it's just a catalyst, right? So like it's just this guy, he's a drug lord. He's saved these two boys in Vietnam.
Well, first he's acquitted because he basically has all the witnesses to him being a drug lord murdered by ninjas.
Well, he has this giant ninja school, and he's showing all the bad guys this ninja school so they can continue their drug operation.
They know that he is good
and then
deal.
you get this cop who wants to take them down and is over the heads of all of the other cops.
Because they're like, you have to take down Tiger McPherson.
Right, and he's like, okay, and like they're mad because they can't do it because he has like the priority on the case.
But
And then he has a brother.
he's hesitant. They're both hesitant.
Well, so he has a brother that's a martial arts expert.
Yeah,
and
he's not a cop.
He's getting married to
A reporter.
A reporter
Who is reporting on the bad guy.
Reporting on the bad guy. You can see where all this is going.
And
So the bad guy was in Vietnam,
he was a soldier, and
he saved these two kids.
yeah.
And again, it's so predictable. Like these kids are definitely, clearly, these two men.
Yes.
In the movie. I don't know why he saved both of them in Vietnam and they were both kids, and it looked like he didn't age a single fucking second.
How dare you? They gave him a beard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How dare you?
And he's not his hair was a little longer in the nom.
Well, no, in the Nom scene, they put him in a
like a bandana.
Yeah, it's the look. If you've seen the Deer Hunter, it's the look Robert De Niro has in that. Which I guess they decided to combine the Deer Hunter and Rambo into the flashback because that's all I could think of. I mean,
That nom scene reminded me of the nom scene in Black Dynamite, though.
Buku Sao, some cartoon shit. I'm gonna say
Why Black Dynamite? Why?
It was, I'm gonna say it wasn't that ridiculous, but I was waiting.
Well, I mean, clearly Black Dynamite, it's a spoof, but like, I mean,
But they did have my favorite.
it had the same like overall feel.
It had my favorite edit though, where he's like, "What's your names?" and kid number 1 says his name, kid number 2 says his name, and then it cuts back to modern day and our guy saying Tiger McPherson.
Well, and it was like that was confusing to me for some reason because I thought he was saying his own name.
No, I
like,
somehow got it right away. I was more confused though immediately as to like what is happening, like because it literally like rams headfirst into the flashback.
So I guess sorry. We'll go back to the plot. So basically, what happens is there's another reporter that takes a bunch of pictures of these crime bosses at the ninja school. He gets caught and starts running, and then when the dude is getting married to the other reporter, the one who took the pictures throws the camera reel in her bouquet.
Yes, so she then has all the evidence.
So she, on their honeymoon, at their house, I guess.
Their house, yeah.
So, because she has a dark room there, so she develops the pictures, gets all these pictures of these crime lords.
And is like, this is it, this is my big break.
And the dude's like, no, we shouldn't do this because he has a dedication to the guy who saved his life. And then they kidnap her because she has they think she has the pictures. And then there's our fucking, because now he has to go rescue her. And then the fucking brother has to help him rescue her. Even though it doesn't really fucking matter, and we'll get to that.
We'll get there. But yeah.
But that's basically the plot. So it's basically like, reporter sees some shit, tries to report it. Crime bosses know about it. The guy has to go save his girlfriend.
Easy. And then, it's just funny because the film literally starts with action. It's just all these uncles getting killed.
Well, it's kind of confusing. I don't really. I get it gives you context like later, but like there's no context for why it's happening in the beginning. So you're just sitting there like this.
The context, Will, is that they wanted to start their movie with action.
And what I mean when I said at the beginning, where it's like it gets better because these scenes are shit. They are fucking like horribly edited. They're fucking awful to look at. They're ugly as shit.
My favorite is the boat chase,
where they're just standing in the boat.
Where it's just a ninja driving the boat and one ninja just standing there like a statue, while a boat full of uncles just does like circles in the water.
And so these are the guys that like snitched on the drug lord. And so they kill all of them, obviously. So these are their first few action scenes.
And he's acquitted.
The next action scene is they're showing the ninja school, which is like one of my favorites because
this scene broke us, and it made me spill my precious seltzer because I could, with action scenes, action movies with like bad guys that have like lots of henchmen, there's oftentimes that scene where they show like the bad guy is like showing how dedicated his henchmen are, right?
Well, right. There's like scenes of them like taking like beatings or something like that to show their devotion.
And we have that scene, but it is done.
It is the stupidest fucking show of devotion I've ever seen.
Well, it's like it's so great that I didn't even know that's what they were doing first, because it's just like, they're showing all these ninjas doing all this training, right? And he's leading this guy through it, and then they get to a cliff, and then he tells this ninja, like, go down that cliff, and he starts getting, like, his climbing gear, right? And then he's like, oh, no, don't use that gear. He's like, yes, master.
And he, like, jumps up on the bridge.
No. Not yet, fucker. The guy's like, you're just gonna let him die? And he's like, yes. And then, I was like, and still, our brains.
Well, I thought like, yes, like he's like little does this guy know the ninja's gonna go down the like ravine and be fine at the end.
That's our brains were not thinking the stupid, right?
When I was like, okay, like he's gonna do some ninja shit, like like that. It's a show of like, look how cool these ninjas are.
Yeah, that they can literally like fly or whatever, right?
Yeah, like they can just fucking teleport down there or something.
And so the guy goes on this bridge. He jumps on top of like the little beams at the top,
and he fucking just.
And then we get this.
He just fucking kamikazes himself.
Kamikazes himself down like a maybe 20-foot drop,
They just like they just use a dummy. They just push a fucking ninja dummy, and there's like just splats on the fucking like bottom of the ravine.
And then like the guy's like, that's it. And the guy's like, now you see how serious they are.
Like that broke me. That
Yeah.
like broke my brain
It
because I
broke
was like,
my brain too. Like we rewinded it because it was so like it's like, oh, he's just gonna die.
I was like, wait a minute, no shit. What? He just fucking killed himself? Like he fucking just yeeted himself off of this?
yes.
That's the scene.
But
So
but it's just like everything about it, like it's just like a 20-foot drop. Like he probably wouldn't even die. He might break his legs, maybe. But it's like, oh my god.
But then they do okay. So it's only an hour and 20 minutes, right? So like this is where like the big chunk of the plot where she gets the pictures, all this shit happens. The reporter gets captured.
They kill her brother.
They kill her brother, so they're looking for the pictures. They ransack the house. They're looking for the pictures. They kill him.
Don't forget, there's that hilarious scene where after they kidnap her and ransack the house, our guy goes there and he's all like depressed, and then his brother shows up and does like the Willy Wonka meme face at him and is like, "This happened because you didn't like."
Yeah,
He
it's
didn't like reveal the film,
thanks, Captain Obvious.
and it was just hilarious because of how totally chill, nonchalant he is about it.
I know he looks like he's like, this happened because of you.
Yeah, like it's just comical.
The dubbing is really fucking bad. I need to say that too. Like holy shit.
That
And,
goes
like,
without saying.
There's like a person of color, and they use a black, like they use
they use
a
a-
white. They use a white guy. So
Pretending to be black.
the actor is a person of color, but they fucking use a white dub actor to pretending to be black in like a black
Hot take, well,
like
it's
a
the
black
same,
accent.
It's the same guy who did the dubbing in their last movie, The Super Ninja.
It's true. It is because a lot of the voices are similar.
yeah.
They're very similar, but like I fucking hate when white guys do that fucking like ghetto black accent. It's so
Well, I love it because it is so
It's so dumb. It's so
on
brain
brand.
dead.
It's so on brand. The other thing I love is there is a comical amount of like non-verbal.
I want to propose it. Okay. So anyone who's watching along with the movie or anything, stop the movie right now. If you're like not to this point,
Or if you haven't started it, yeah.
take a shot or a drink. I guess we won't want to kill people.
If you take shots, you're gonna die.
Take a drink of your drink every time they dub an because like once you notice it, it's through the fucking whole film.
It's over.
Like I want to do a supercut of that.
It's over. Once you notice it, you're done for. And
They
it's-
do it so fucking much in this movie.
like almost like either they start their sentence with that or they end it.
It's like they didn't know. And it's usually in response to something that someone else says. So it's like in the script they didn't know what the fuck to say.
But it's like they could just say the thing.
So they just say this dude grunts.
but they grunt and then they say what they're gonna say.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I
So
really
it'd
don't
be
get
like,
it.
like, how are you, Alex? I'm okay. How are you, Will? I'm all right. Like it's like that. It's like they still say,
Yeah, it's true,
and it's just. But once you notice it, oh baby,
dude.
it's over.
Yeah, it's throughout the whole fucking movie. The next action scene is the one in the parking garage, the car chase.
No, it's the because that one gets better. So it's the one where he's
It's our last bad action
under
scene.
like the highway.
I do like it every time the brothers get together. They always fight at first.
Well,
They always end up punching each other and fucking
get to that. 'Cause
kicking in.
there's a scene where he's like he's arranging a meeting with the goons to give them back the pictures, and so they have like the reporter tied up, and they booby trap the guy, so a guy gets like strung up on a rope, and then I still don't get the point of this.
Lets off a pigeon.
Well, I guess I do now. I'm sorry. The movie's so dumb, my brain forgot that it kind of made sense.
Yeah, well, in a really
Because he
weird
has like
way,
he has an envelope of the pictures, right? And then he's strung up, and then he pulls out a dove, and he releases it, and the bad guy is like, look at it, like, huh, and then he like gets down from it somehow from the rope, and I'm like, oh, he sent his pictures away with the bird.
yeah.
Then they fight, and it's absolute lunacy.
So this is like one of our last like bad action
Yeah.
scenes because for some reason, I don't know what happened. Maybe the choreographer sobered up or something, and the filmographer decided to sober up as well. So they make from this point on they make coherent action scenes.
Or this was the last action scene shot, and by this point they were just they were
Maybe
gone.
they fired. Well, yeah, maybe this is the point where they were sober and then they got fucked up.
They had that
and
good-
now they're like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if like logs turned into ninjas?
That was lit. Don't even pretend, boy.
No, I'm saying like that like they got drunk and they're like, yeah, man, let's fucking do that.
They had that good Filipino cocaine.
Yeah, they're like. So what if we have them disappear and then appear and fucking and do like ninjutsu signs and shit?
And they're gonna be logs, bro.
They're gonna we're gonna like edit it so it looks like the logs are flying at him, but then it's gonna be ninjas.
Or the guy's gonna he's gonna stab one, and it's gonna be a log falling in the water, bro. Yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, in this, it's just incoherent nonsense. And then bad guys get away. Brother shows up. They have like a tussle. And then
Yeah, they like, beat each other up
he's
for a
like,
minute.
give me the photos. And he gives him an envelope. And it's fake. It's just
Yeah, it's
wedding
like
pictures.
it's honeymoon photos. Well, no, yeah, wedding pictures. Also, this also marks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this marks the last time they ever fucking mention the photos.
Yes.
like literally, forget about the photos.
Actually, no.
they-
Wrong. They mention it again later when they film the fucking reporter being raped.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The guy's like, either give us the photos or the next thing we're going to send you is her in pieces.
So he gets pissed off, and then he goes.
But this is, that's later because the next action scene is the one in the parking garage.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So the guy's like going downtown looking for.
Talking to people,
I guess.
interrogating literally just random people.
I think
eating-
he's trying to figure out where this like hideout is.
I guess.
I don't know why an innocent person would know where a drug
It's
lord's
literally like people like eating and like outside.
I
of,
don't
like,
know why these people
on patios.
Why would these people know where a drug lord's compound is?
Because Manila, I mean New York, is very small. Both of the statements are not true. But it's like people eating in like patios on restaurants and crap.
So then we finally get to this club, and he's like super frustrated, and then he sees
Now he sees them getting into a car.
yeah. So he sees them getting into the
And he
car,
starts chasing it, and then his brother shows up in another car.
and they chase it, and they go into the parking garage, and it's the one guy, and he's like he snaps his fingers, and a bunch of motorcyclists come up. And for some reason, I was like, "Oh, great! Here we fucking go! Another goddamn fucking stupid ass action scene."
You were wrong.
No,
sir.
I was totally wrong. I mean, I fucking eat crow on this fucking one because I thought like it was just gonna be some bullshit, like incoherent garbage.
Nope.
But no, there's like stunts. They're like flipping over a fucking like car. He like holds onto a pole and flips over one of the fucking motorcycles.
He does like the thing where he like one guy's going at him, he like does like a flying kick directly into him.
He like kicks two people at once. Like there's a bunch of really cool
There's
shit in
like
this.
there's blood. It's
Well,
fun.
yeah, he like one of them has an axe and he grabs it and like fucking like slams it into like one of the guy's helmets, and like there's blood spurting out of the fucking helmet.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's actually like a really like pretty. I mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say well done, but it's a good action scene. And from here on out, they get way better.
Yeah, the next one is, I think this might be my favorite one.
The one in the dojo.
Yeah, it's like he's in like his dojo, I guess, and like 3 ninjas dressed in red attack him, and this one, like, I got no complaints because this one, like, they're flying around.
Well, they even get in like to like this like kickboxing ring.
Yeah, and he's like being bounced off of like.
Well,
the
and it's
ends.
the actual actors doing all the stunts. He's like throwing himself at these people. He like throws his body at all three
There's
of
a
them.
part where they're all
once.
like all three of them are lined up, and you just see him like somersault himself
At all
into
three of
them and like knock them all down. There's like furniture being broken. Like this was fun. Then after that is it's his training.
Oh yeah, so it's a flashback because he's basically this is where they send him.
Well, this is where they reveal, because this is like at the point where they rape his wife, and then they do the John Wick thing where the main baddie is like, "Why did you do that?" He's a ninja master.
Now he's gonna be coming for us.
At no point during the whole movie was it told to us that he's a ninja master. I mean, I guess we can infer by the fact that he kicks everyone's fucking ass, but whatever.
Well, we knew he was a martial arts expert,
Right.
right? They had said that,
But he's not a ninja.
But we didn't know he was like a ninja.
So at this point, they reveal that he's a ninja. He's like in his dojo staring at all of his ninja gear, and we get a flashback to him being trained. And it's just, I just love it because it's just this guy saying like philosophical gobbledygook
About ninjas.
about how epic ninjas are.
Well, it sounds like, you know, like a 10-year-old that's obsessed with ninjas.
100%.
Just wrote a bunch of fucking weird mysticism about ninjas and like just
Yeah.
went off that.
And it's just like all this stuff about invisibility and like being balanced and
And
harmony.
mindfulness and
And like the harmony of your heart and your sword and like all this like absolute
it requires
nonsense.
patience and dedication.
And it's like him doing this training where, of course, like it's ninja training. So the people you're training with, you're actually killing them when they're not turning into logs or like
Dummies.
straw figures.
And dummies.
Yeah, but then that's good. And then it's him attacking like the compound.
Yeah, so he's fully decked out in his fucking ninja gear. And now he's on the bridge again and he's fucking people up. They like have a huge fight on the bridge and then he
fights them in the woods.
And they gets to the compound and fights the one guy that actually raped his wife.
Yeah, he this is hilarious because you see his wife on like a slab, right? And he's like, Nancy or whatever. And then he jumps down and gets attacked by the guy. And then, I'm not joking, you never see her again.
Ever.
Ever.
Like, she is never mentioned
Ever.
at all.
Also, the brother shows up and he
Well, no, so he takes out the one guy
Yeah.
in there, and then he goes outside, and then Tiger comes by.
well, don't forget, you're skipping
What?
before this. He shows up there, he starts getting shot at.
Oh, right, and then his brother shows up.
with a like a rifle, and he starts flailing it around and killing all these people with the gun.
He's like, go.
And then yeah, he starts fighting the main baddie. And his brother also shows up and they do like a tag team, and at this point he basically bodies the fucking brother. And it's all like, this is lit.
Also, now, forget about the brother.
Because at some point the brother gets his ass handed to him, and he's like, I'm okay, you get him, because the guy runs away.
Forget about the brother now.
And this is all lit. Like, this fight scene was lit. And
Yeah,
then,
but what I'm saying is the brother is never mentioned or even seen again in the entire movie.
yeah, it's totally fine.
But again, there's only there's 15 minutes left. So
Less. There's like 5 minutes at this point.
yeah,
Because now the main baddie he's decked out in his ninja gear,
dude, this scene is lit.
and they fight in the woods.
It is so fucking cool because like he sends like more henchmen after him, and this is where it's like there'll be like two logs flying towards the guy, and they edit it like quick edit where it's like
They
the
turn into
logs
people.
turn into ninjas and like hit him.
Or he stabs one in the air, and he like quick edits to like a body turning
they-
into a log.
They
falling in
even
the
have
water.
like it. I swear to God, it was like straight out of Naruto, where it's like that leaf coming down, and he's like listening for something, and then like he throws the ninja star at the leaf, and it turns into a log.
Yep.
Like it's
Yep.
it's fucking cool as shit.
Yep, 100%. Got the Naruto shit all up in this. And yeah, he kills the henchman. He fights the guy some more. They get to like a river with a waterfall. And
Well, what's weird is like So they're both fully decked out in ninja gear, and then they fall in this fucking like pond,
And then they
and they're shirtless.
Well, they tumble down the waterfall.
Yeah, and
apparently,
now they're shirtless.
and apparently, when you tumble down the next level of the waterfall, it gets rid of your top. Because now they're both shirtless and just kind of wrestling.
It looks like they're like frolicking in the fucking like water. It's kind of weird.
Look, you know what we were both thinking.
Yeah.
Now kiss.
No kiss.
And then,
Come on, give him a kiss.
listen, it might have been more coherent than what we actually got if they just fucking started fucking. Because they...
I mean, the camera work would have like done well with a soft core, like you said.
Yeah, they already got the fucking Vaseline.
They already got
on.
the Vaseline all over the fucking lens, so why
They could have
not?
just ended the movie with them fucking each other, and then that's it. The end.
Hell yeah! Now that's a fucking way to end a martial arts movie.
I mean,
Okay.
it might have been more coherent than what we actually fucking got.
Yeah, so they're both trying to like drown each other, and then he fucking does this weird like 50 punch.
And then he holds him up into the waterfall and like chokes him to death, and then just starts walking towards the camera.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, like are they?
He's
gonna...
not dead.
I'm like, he's not dead because like they show him like float up, right?
Yeah,
And then you think he's gonna like turn around, and it just ends.
literally the end.
Like literally, his body just floats up to the fucking camera and it ends. Like I was so confused. I'm like, why did you end it like that?
They couldn't do it. They couldn't commit to the bit. They couldn't commit to the bit of just having them fuck their pain away.
Well, I mean, listen, that would have been.
I mean, look, it would have been a bold, stylistic choice.
I think that would have been the first and only time I've ever seen that if they decided to do that.
if they did, I mean, like I said, it still would have been more coherent than what we actually got, which is just
If they just raw dogged each other under a fucking waterfall, dude, like what the fuck?
pure romance.
Just fucking bareback in it, like just fucking.
Look, we got the camera, we got the Vaseline on it, we got the location.
It was set up like it. It was set up like
They both lost their fucking shirts for no reason.
Just let it happen. Just don't be afraid. It's okay.
They both lost their shirts for no reason. Like,
That would have been a damn progressive 1985 movie, though, if that happened.
yeah,
so.
some fucking nonsense made in the Philippines. That's literally how it ends. You have no clue what happened to the wife.
No, and or the brother, or if the brother's even alive at this
Nothing.
point.
It just ends. It's like
There's no conclusion.
it almost feels like when they like.
I guess there's no resolution.
Yeah, it almost feels like they like someone messed up, and they just like lost the last 5 minutes of the movie, and they just said
it disappeared like those ninjas. There it is. There it is. See,
Shit.
it's meta. It's a meta ending.
It's like poetry.
It
rhymes.
fucking ninjutsu'd you.
Yeah.
the movie ninjutsu'd us. It disappeared like those ninjas.
The movie's the real ninja, bro. You know,
Exactly.
You know, Will, it's like a wise man once said. It's so dense. Frame has so many things going on. You know, dense is the right word for this.
Yes.
It's just not that kind of density though.
No.
It's the density of the fucking filmmaker's brains. Oh my god, this is so stupid.
Yeah, it's a really dumb movie, but the action scenes make it worth it.
I'm like I said, it's good that it's so stupid because it only adds to the entertainment factor.
Well, a lot of people theorize there's like a few kinds of dumb movies, right? There's dumb fun movies and then just dumb movies.
Yeah.
Where it's just like really fucking dumb, unwatchable bullshit. And then there's those dumb fun movies where they're just a fucking blast to watch, but they're still fucking stupid as fuck.
Yeah, but
and
I think you almost have to add a third category because there's like dumb fun movies where they're not deep, they're not mind-blowing, but they're fun, but they're not this level of brain dead. Cuz I don't know, like I'm trying to think of an example of like a dumb fun movie. Like
Well, one I watched, like, I mean, arguably, I thought it was dumb fun, is like Moonfall.
Right.
Like, where it's
Moonfall.
like, it's so fucking stupid, but like,
The core.
yeah.
Like that is a dumb movie, but it's fun. But that's not like, it's not like Brain Dead. Like there's legit actors in it. Like it's the camera works fine, you know. But then there's
It's like,
this.
it's like decently made, right?
But then there's this. Like if you try to watch this side by side,
Can we call it schlocky fun?
it's just brain dead fun. Like this movie has brain damage.
Yeah.
It's that level of like it's so stupid.
Brain leakage fun.
But what saves it is that number one, it's not boring. Thank the Lord, because the action is once you get past the first 20, 30 minutes is lit.
They just fucking, like, they clocked it in on that one. I don't know what.
If the action didn't get lit, this might severely test my patience, but even then, it's such a level of stupid that it's still funny.
So I guess we should get to shitty to pretty, right? Since we're talking about dumb fun or brain dead fun.
I'm gonna give it an 8.
I think eight's a good
Because,
rating.
1 point knocked off for the first half hour of just incoherent nonsense, and another point knocked off for the fact that there is just no ending.
I would argue also, like, try and shave off some points for fucking the Vaseline. Like,
No, that adds to it. That adds to the brain.
you like the porn aesthetic?
the brain damage. Will
You like the softcore porn aesthetic to this movie?
the brain damage? Yeah, it adds to the brain damage. Can you
Listen.
imagine? Well, picture. I'm gonna be Rod Serling. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Picture, if you will, USA Ninja in crystal clear HD. You can't. I bet you can't.
I couldn't.
Yeah, like there's movies we've watched on the podcast where it's like you watch them and you're like, I wish this was in HD.
All I have to say to the director is on our small little podcast, you would have gotten a 10 out of 10 if they barebacked each other under that fucking waterfall.
I'm not even gonna lie. If that happened, I would have had to quit the podcast because I think that would have been. I mean,
Listen,
how would you top?
we've reached the pinnacle. At
Yeah,
that
how would
point.
you?
We've reached we've reached Everest at that point.
Yeah, because at that point it's like that's it.
We're never gonna see anything like
This
that.
little film from 1985 just decided to say fuck all y'all.
Fuck societal norms at that time. Fuck like everything like that. We're just gonna fucking push the boundaries
That's
of what
it.
a ninja movie should be.
There's a movie that we're gonna get to at some point, and I'm not saying the name of it, but I know that one of the things in the movie is that the ending is just a cavalcade of violence, and then one of the things they do is they add a title card at the very end that just says, "Only through the elimination of violence can we achieve world peace." It would have been on that level of just like, all right, alrighty then.
See, what if they fucked each other under the waterfall and then a title card says, like, love is the answer?
It would have been on that level of just like, all right then.
Love is all you need. Just like a fucking, like, send off. Dude, it would have been that would have made this movie goated. It would have been like my favorite movie ever.
And then you would have been like, oh, I get why it looks like a softcore porn.
Yeah, it's like they would have made sense. It would have tied everything together, and it would have got a 10 out of 10. And then we could end the podcast.
See, well, because he rescued him in Vietnam, and now in the present he can rescue him from his vice
From his evil ways.
with love,
They can help each other
through love.
through love.
Exactly.
Love is all you need.
But we didn't get that, so
Yeah, so I mean,
you get an 8.
Yep, and I'm sure some of you reluctantly don't want to hear this, but now the podcast continues because we haven't reached that level
Of pure bamboozlement.
pure like bamboozled where we just end the entire podcast.
No, sorry, unless I don't think. I mean, listen, this might be a hot take.
Stars have to align for us to do that.
Yeah, or we get old and die. That's it.
I mean, that's really what's going to happen.
That's actually the real reality. Is this podcast ends when we are old and dead, or I mean, maybe, it might not even then. Because listen, by that point in the future, maybe they'll figure out a way to like transplant our.
We could do like an AI thing, you know?
No, I was gonna say at that point.
I'll
maybe...
donate my voice to AI if it continues.
No, they'll they'll
come out at
implant
night.
like they'll be able to take like our consciousness and just implant it into like the web, like
Sweet.
cyberpunk shit.
Okay.
And by that point, the podcast is it's eternal.
This is an evergreen podcast.
Yeah.
We never quitting.
Even in the cyberpunk future, we
Yep.
will still continue
We're never
on.
quitting. We don't care if we only have 400 followers, okay? We're going to continue.
By that point, we'll have 500, sir. How dare you?
Yep. By 2054,
20,
we'll have 500 subscribers.
all 500 of you lucky fucks.
Hey, listen though, like to be honest, like we appreciate every single one of you.
100%.
Obviously, that is a joke. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for being a member. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for giving our podcast a chance. In all seriousness, so I know like everyone knew that was a fucking joke, but
Listen,
but it really means a lot because we don't want to ever like stop this podcast.
you know,
I love this shit.
love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
And with that, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's It's where they mostly come out at night. This has been Will.
This has been Alex.
We'll talk to you all later.
Bye.
Bye.
With love.
Go bareback someone in
a waterfall.
Consensually. God, you heathens. Consensually.
God, what's the matter? I think you're a bunch of degenerates or something.
Ask first. God damn it.
It's like they think we're degenerates or something, man. I don't know why.
Ask.
We only do this podcast.